it is time to do my weekly spread. I'm really trying to get back in the habit. Ever since Melissa and I started this business, it's funny, we make planning stickers for planners, and it's really been tough for me to just keep up with it all. And like, I really need to get my life in order because I'm feeling very scattered. I can be a bit of a messy person, but like leaving my stuff out, but I definitely feel better when things are tidy. So I'm sure a lot of you, excuse me, can relate to that. Okay. So I really wanted to do sour candy for this week, but Claptrap is printing and I don't have any A5 weekly sour candy available to use. So I am going to do Capybara because I have these, which were miscuts. They didn't cut out right. So I'm going to use Capybaras for this week and my Hobonichi cousin. So let's go. Oh, and so I figured if I'm going to film, I will start from the beginning and give you guys a little bit of a history, because we were talking to Erin from Planning Life with Erin, who is the most wonderful content creator in the whole wide world. And she was saying that, you know, people want to get to know you, especially when you're a small business. It's like, where did you come from? Are you a nice person? All that good stuff. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to plan and we're going to do a little story time. And I'm probably going to put a clip on Instagram, and then I'm going to start posting probably just completely unedited, unfiltered videos on YouTube so people can hang out if they want to. So let's dive in. First of all, I need a tweezer. I just use regular old tweezers. I should probably get some cute ones, but I don't have any right now, so that's okay. All right, so I always start with the days of the week. So we are gonna start there. And our new paper, I really like it. It was hard to switch and we were really nervous about it. My biggest complaint is that all like markers and things don't work on it. So ballpoint pens work really good, and I've noticed the Sarasa fine point work good, but you have to let that one dry a little bit. Ballpoint is usually pretty good right away. So, and yeah, there's still, our main thing was we wanted them to still be really thin and flexible. I don't like putting stickers in my planner that make it stiff. Like, I don't so much mind the bulk, but I don't like the stiff. And the thing with these is, because they're so thin, when you kind of bend it back, it doesn't really pop up like our old ones did because they were a little thicker and stiffer. So I guess pros and cons. So I like that they're thin, but they're a little harder to get off. If you use your tweezers and just kind of flick the edge, it'll come up. The other thing you can do is peel off the entire like back part and leave just the stickers, and then they are much easier to get off that way. So, okay, where to start? So I'll tell us the story kind of Melissa and I, where we came from. So we grew up in Northwest Indiana, kind of in the Chicago area, just south of Chicago. So I know I spent quite a bit of time playing around there, and I'm sure Melissa did too. So Melissa's 3 years older than me. I'll have to post some pictures. We don't have many, and we'll get into that probably later why. But we were pretty close as kids. We played together really well. We kind of had, you know, we're Gen Xers, so we kind of had absent parents. And when they weren't absent, that probably wasn't a good thing. So really, we kind of raised each other. So yeah, and you know, it was the 80s. We played outside, but Melissa was always a wonderful artist. so we would always come up with these schemes for her to like do some art and for me to like go sell things. If you look on our website, we've got a blog and I don't keep up with it. I should try, but I don't. Anyway, we had these little pebbles, like these rock pebbles on the side of our house. So Melissa would use those and make little rock people. And then we cut up fabric and made little blankets and made little like little adoption certificates and things, birth certificates, and then I would go around town and sell them. So sometimes we would have a booth outside the house, the front of the house, but I would go door to door and sell them. And of course, I mean, like nobody needed these things, but people still bought them because, you know, they thought it was cute that we were little entrepreneurs. So that was fun. So we always say that was the start of all of this. And then after we got done with school, we kind of went our own ways. Life was weird. We were both kind of just wanting to go. Really, a lot of the jobs where we were, you know, there just weren't a lot of jobs. Steel mill stuff, which now isn't even there. And I don't know, it was kind of a little, it was just a sad area. So I'll let Melissa talk about like what happened with her, but I did work at a steel mill, not like forging steel, but like in the office for a little bit, until I was just absolutely over it. And I had a boyfriend who we had been dating for a good long while. And we were watching A Few Good Men. And I went to work the next day and I was thinking about it and I was like, I'm gonna join the Navy. So I called the Navy recruiter and said, hey, I wanna join the Navy. And they're like, okay. So I went and met with them, and I would say, gosh, within 2 weeks, I was like leaving for boot camp, which is good because I don't know if I would have had a lot of time to think about it. I don't know. I don't think I would have changed my mind, but I might have. So, and of course my boyfriend, I told my boyfriend, I'm like, hey, I joined the Navy. And he's like, no, you didn't. And I was like, yeah, I did. And he's like, well, you're not going. And I'm like, yeah, I am going. So, and then when I told my mom, she was at the time, I think she was in Utah, which is a whole nother story. Anyway, I called my mom and I was like, I joined the Navy. And she was like, well, Jeannette, you know they're gonna make you actually go. And I'm just like, yeah, I know that. So I don't know what she was thinking. I think that was not a good vote of confidence. It's like, you can't do that. But anyway, so I did. I joined the Navy and I went to boot camp and made it through that. One thing I was really worried about running because at the time I couldn't run. I run now, but like at the time I couldn't. And so I told the recruiter, I'm like, hey, I might need some time because I don't think I can do the run to be able to pass boot camp. And they're like, oh, don't you worry. When you get there, you know, they'll start slow and they'll work you up and you'll be able to do it. Not a big deal. So I was like, okay. So I got off the bus. So I flew there, got off the bus. We had to wait overnight because we had to wait for the other people from our company to kind of get there for everybody to be there. So had to wait overnight. And then the next morning, everybody was there. And we literally went and they were like, okay, run 1.5 miles. And I absolutely couldn't do it. So that was pretty bad. And no, they did not like work you up to it. They might now. So I basically just struggled through and like barely made it on the run. Like my company commander literally like ran next to me to like keep me motivated so I could just pass and like be done. Everything else I did great with. So then I had a couple of schools I had to go to, like training schools. So the first one was in Memphis. It was pretty long. It was like, I don't know, maybe even like 13 months. It was pretty long. So I was there for a while. Meanwhile, I did not necessarily, I didn't break up with my boyfriend. I was like, oh, you know, we'll stay, whatever. So when I was in Memphis, I had a weekend off and I drove all the way from Memphis up to Indiana, the Chicago area, to see him. And like I got there and I said, I'm here. And he said like, oh, well, I can't. I'm like, oh, can you meet me somewhere? He's like, no, I can't. And yes, I was flummoxed. So that was it for that. So that was not fun. So then I left and realized that wasn't going to happen. And then years later, he ended up calling me and was like, when are you coming home? And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I'm not coming. By that time I was in college, out of the Navy and in college. I'm like, I'm not coming home. So I don't know what he was thinking, but that was kind of a bummer, but also like really good because if we had stayed together, it would have been an absolute disaster. Plus I changed a lot. Like he probably wouldn't even have recognized who I was at the time, and probably the same with him. So then after Memphis, I went to Jacksonville for a shorter training. And then finally I was stationed in Maine. And that's where I met my husband, Dwayne, and we were just friends. I was like not having it with a relationship. Like, I'm like, I just want to be me and do my thing. And yeah, not have any relationships for a while. So he and I were friends. I did end up hanging out with another guy just randomly who was in that same group, like same friend group, and actually a really close friend of my husband. So like he and I kind of dated a little bit, and then Dwayne and I, my husband now, we were friends and we hung out a lot. We had a lot of fun, but with no like pressure or anything. We did, he had a motorcycle at the time. He doesn't anymore. We would go out riding on the motorcycle or go hiking. We really liked to like go out to dinner and go out to breakfast, but we really were just friends. And I told my mom, so I was talking to my mom one time and she was like, I was like, oh, I'm doing something with Dwayne. She's like, really? And I'm like, Mom, it's not like that. And she's like, oh, okay, well, talk to me in a year or something like that. So we were friends for a good long time. Then it was kind of during Desert Storm area. So we ended up over in Sicily for all of that, which, I mean, there's worse places to be. We didn't really get to have any fun, but I mean, it was still nice to be in Sicily. So we would meet in the morning because I worked night shift. He flew. So his schedule was kind of weird. So if he was home, I would go wake him up in the morning and we would have coffee. And that's where our coffee talk started. And we literally still do it to this day. But there was this place where you could go walk to, and there was a bench you could sit on. And I better make sure I'm recording. Yeah. There was a bench you could sit on, and it was called something in Italian that we didn't know what it was, but it started with a C and a U. So we just called it the Charlie uniform. So we would be like, let's go to the Charlie uniform and have coffee and chat. So we did that, and time goes by, and like I hung out with people, he hung out with people, but then things started to change a little bit. And so one day I came to visit him in the morning, and there was a girl like with him, somebody we knew, and that happened a lot. Man, I was in the Navy in the 90s. Anyway, so I was like, ooh, I'll just go, go back to my room and go to sleep. So I did, and I was just laying there like kind of seething, and I was like, oh my God, I think I'm in love with Dwayne. But I didn't say anything. And then a while later, we were up at the Charlie uniform, and he's like, Jeannette, I have to tell you something. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, I think I'm in love with you. And I was like, I think I'm in love with you. And that's how it all started. And we've been together ever since. So that's how I accidentally fell in love with my husband's story. And I'm so glad I did, because we've had such a really wonderful life together. I love him dearly, and I wouldn't trade him for anything. Okay, there. Yeah, so I guess that's a good place to stop as far as story time. There's a million other things, but that's my story and kind of how I ended up. Well, so now we're in Colorado. We ended up in Colorado kind of through the military and moving here and there and whatnot. And we're definitely here to stay. We love Colorado. Dwayne's retired from the military. I ended up getting out because having two people in the military and trying to like be married and have a kid, that's really hard. So, okay, let's take a peek at what I've got here. So this is kind of generally what I do. I kind of do the same thing every time. But let's do some work stuff. So I work from home, and we're trying to decide if we want to keep a lot of these. I know a lot of people don't use them, but the people who use them like really want them. So, and I use them, so meh. So Tuesdays, I work from home starting at 7:30. I am a nurse practitioner specializing in diabetes. So I manage all diabetes, but like also like complex diabetes, people on dialysis, people on insulin pumps. It's actually a very technical job because of the insulin pumps. So I quite enjoy it. Okay. So this Thursday, I only work half a day because I took PTO the second half of the day. One of our friends is retiring from the Air Force, so we're doing shenanigans for that. But the reason I did that is because starting in July, I'm going down to a 0.8. So right now I'm a 1.0, which is 36 patient contact hours. And I'm going down to a 0.8, which is, I think, 32 patient contact hours. So anyway, that's gonna give me, so my new schedule, so right now I work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Like I have 10 hours worth of patients, and I end up working about 12 hours. So my new schedule is gonna be 10 hours from home on Tuesday, a half a day on Wednesday, half day on Thursday, and then a full day on Friday. So I am really, really excited about that. And that's kind of what led to all of this, because I'm gonna have more time, and I really wanna go all in on all of this because I love running this business with my sister. And I like being able to like communicate with you guys and do stuff like this. And it's really hard for me to do right now with as much as I work. So, that's the plan, and I'm very excited about it. Sunday is always Dwayne's day. I work a lot. He works from home every day, but yeah, during the week, because I typically work so late, like we're just like ships passing in the night. So Sunday is like sacred Dwayne's day. So that's always on there. And we pretty much always go out to breakfast. And then depending on the season or the weather, we might golf or take a drive in the mountains. Okay, so let's see. Anything else? Oh, Thursday is, I'm gonna put this one here. That is our friend Bob's retirement. His wife is named Jenna, and she's amazing. We've known each other since before all of our kids were born, which is very special, and they live here, and their kids are graduating from high school and doing all of that. So it's nice to have them around. And they're very lovely people, and their children are very lovely people too, so we like them. Now, I don't like having, like, I like these squares. I don't usually put them square. I don't know why, but I don't. And then I kind of don't like the edges just to be like hanging out there, so I will often put some of the little like extras like over the edges to make it just seamlessly blend in to my journal. And we've got a little mango here, and maybe I'll put the extra mango over here with him. And then let's do, so you can use these little paw prints as bullets, but I used the little half-cut mango. So I think for this, there's not much going on here. So I think I'm going to put little paw prints going up just to fill in some of that. Perfect. What was I talking about? Oh, what's going on this week? Yeah, so just work from home, work in the office, half day work in the office, Bob's retirement, Friday work all day. Saturday is usually my chore day, or like if I need to make appointments, like to get my hair done or something like that. That's usually either Saturday or Monday, because I have Mondays off. This is a Monday. Yeah, so Saturday is kind of free for all, or like if Cohen's available, sometimes we'll go thrifting. I'm gonna put this little guy up at the top, like he just scampered up there. And then where am I missing something? I like to put something here. And I usually, so there's always this little arrow thing that Melissa puts in here. And I usually put that like down at the bottom of the page as just like to give momentum to like going to the next week. So yeah, I'll put it way down here. And then, ooh, let's do this. I'm gonna put this little guy, if it will fit. I don't think it's gonna fit, no. I'm gonna put him over there. Okay. I've got a couple things left, but I think I'm gonna leave it there. And then ballpoint pen works best on these. So I'm gonna turn a little bit. So let's see. So this is work, and I'm just gonna write home, even though I know. This is work. This is half day, and this is work, and this is Bob's day for his retirement, and this is Dwayne's day. All right. Oh, and then to-dos. Let's see. So I should just put like, get your life in order, because I feel very scattered, but let's be more specific. Ooh, okay. So I need to go to Williams-Sonoma for Bob's retirement gift. He is a wonderful cook. He cooks for us all the time. So I'm gonna get him a really nice chef knife for his graduation. I think he will like it. So we gotta do Bob's gift. What else? Oh, I need to get together a promo kit for an Instagrammer that I'm gonna be working with. More on that later. So I need to do that. And then I need to work on getting things together for June. We haven't really decided, so we're kind of taking June off. We have some things that we could release. So I'm not sure if we're gonna do a release first week of June. I think we are, but we are definitely gonna be doing a Memorial Day sale. So I need to figure out what's going on with the June release. And then Memorial Day sale. It's gonna be 30% off, and that's gonna be a good time to pick up the things that are retiring. They might be back at some point, but we need to kind of, you know, make things a little less complicated. So Memorial Day sale, and then what else this week? You know, when I'm sitting here, I'm like, oh, that's not much. And then the minute I close, I'm like, oh, I need to add that to the list, or oh, I need to do that. Oh, I have been getting factor meals, and this week I skipped my factor meal and I ordered Hungry Root. So, and I don't know exactly what that is going to entail, because there is some putting things together. So I need to get the Hungry Root situation going. And we're gonna leave it at that. So, okay. I am going to kind of grab you like this so you can see what we've done. All right, so here we are. A couple more things on the list, and I'm sure there's a million things